Hey guys, it's the Shades here from RVT Entertainment, and we are here at Metrocon 2014 with the very awesome Troy Baker. Troy, how you doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing well. Thank you very much for that kind intro.
Absolutely. Now, you've done a ton of major voice acting credits on your name. You've got Greed and Yamato, you've got Batman to Loki, you've got Joel and Booker Dewitt. You know, what goes through your mind when you look back at the many memorable characters that you've played?
Just grateful and incredibly humbled that people have found something that I do, first of all, to resonate within them and for that to mean something to them and for people to continue to hire me. I'm a nerd, and so to be able to work in something that you enjoy yourself, I mean, to be a part of something that you're going to geek out over later, that's a pretty good perk of the job.
Absolutely. I played BioShock Infinite, and I loved your role as Booker. That
Thanks,
was
man.
Very awesome. Now, who or what were some of your inspirations to get into acting or voice acting?
I've always, been a performer, and I knew that was going to kind of like be a part of my life somehow. I didn't know what that looked like. At first, I thought I was going to be a rock star, and then kind of life opened up some different doors. And so I just, instead of trying to pigeonhole myself into one specific path, I just was open to what life was presenting me, and I walked through this one door, and doors continued to open. So I think you kind of pull inspiration from different people, people that you look up to, that whether it be in TV or film, or people that you work with. I think Nolan inspires me, and people who have gone before us, Frank Welker or Mel Blanc, people that have operated in animation. Mel Blanc was a man of 1,000 voices. He was incredible. So when you look at someone, you go, I want to do something like that. That's cool. I think anybody can inspire you, and so you draw inspiration from all around you.
Absolutely. I know I've been inspired to do what I do now the same way, a lot of different people, so it's very awesome. Have you ever gone back and watched or played anything that you've done voice work for?
Of course, yeah.
What was it like hearing yourself like that?
It's sometimes it's off-putting, and the ego comes in, and you want to be critical of what you've done, and they went with that take, I could have done something better. But I wouldn't change anything, because if it was bad, then I've learned something from it. If it was good, or somebody thought it was good, then who am I to say that I could have done something better? If that's whatever I've done has resonated with someone, then either way it comes out, there's something to be learned there, or something to be appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it's been confirmed that you are set to play Revolver Ocelot in the next upcoming Metal Gear Solid 5, and also Two-Face in Batman Arkham Knight.
True.
Is there any insight for those roles that you can tell us? Anything you know about?
Well, I mean, so far from what you've seen from Arkham Knight, it's, we see that once again Batman is up against the ropes, and there's a lot of criminals that are coming after him. We saw Harley, we got to see Two-Face, and we also got to see Penguin. So I mean, it's the first next-gen Arkham game. It's how they're ending it, so they're going out with a bang. The fact that the Batmobile is in there is huge. I didn't find out until well into recording that was actually happening. I was like, we're doing a lot of stuff for the Bat. Oh my God, so that's gonna be incredible. And with Metal Gear, I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and I love Kojima. I love the way that he tells the story, and what's so great is that, I was saying this in my panel the other day, is that Kojima's kind of like Aerosmith. Aerosmith has been around for a long time, and they've put out a lot of music, but they constantly reinvent themselves to stay relevant and fresh. But there's never a doubt that it's Aerosmith. You hear Steven Tyler, you hear Joe Perry. So that's what I love about Kojima, is that he's constantly reinventing himself, never trying to just rely on a formula. But he's built a fiction. He's built and created a world and characters that are very real and that mean a lot to people. I want everybody to be open, because clearly this is, we have a new Snake, we have a new Ocelot, and if you go into the game open, you've got one hell of a ride ahead of you. It's huge. The game is massive in terms of playability, in terms of world, what you can do. So it's not just another cash grab and another Metal Gear game. It's something that is really, really expanding on the world that already exists, and you're going to learn a lot about some characters that you're already very familiar with.
We'll definitely have to look forward to that. I know I've been following the Metal Gear franchise for a while, so that should be interesting to see where that comes in.
Very cool.
You've been to plenty of conventions, since you first began doing all this, I'm sure. Have you ever had any funny or oddball moments at a convention that you could share?
Oh my God, right now, this one. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love, coming to cons is outside these walls, sometimes we're a bunch of misfits, and none of us fit in everywhere. And what's so great is to be in a place where we all belong. We're all nerds, and I heard someone say something that it's a room full of people who thought that they were the only ones who were into this thing. And then to come here and to be able to share that and have a culture that supports that is incredible. And I especially love when I see normies come in that get completely baptized in the nerd culture and walk out and we convert people. I think that's really cool. So I mean, I've had tons of oddball moments. I've been hit with giant keys. I've been struck down by swords, cloud swords. And you always, I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank as far as like a specific thing, but I kind of run this just like cornucopia of memories of like the amazing cosplay that I see that people do, the time and the attention, the detail that goes into someone creating a costume. That for some people this will be their only con. Like they have one con they go to a year, and how much love and anticipation goes into that, and relationships that are forged. That last a lifetime, that you typically only get to see these people once a year, and how cool that is, and that Monday morning may suck, but, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're kings and queens.
Absolutely. All right, a couple more questions for you. Since you've played so many of them, I have to ask this.
Sure.
Favorite superhero?
I gotta say, man, I'm a huge Batman fan. I love, I grew up, the comic books, I always kind of leaned a little more Marvel, but to me, Batman wasn't. There was DC and there was Batman. You know what I mean? Like Batman is the progenitor of DC. Without Batman, there is no DC. That's like without Superman. Superman was Action Comics. It wasn't DC. So everything kind of bled into this. But I've always loved the fact that I heard a comedian say that Batman is the coolest superhero because when he's not Batman, he's billionaire Bruce Wayne. And so it's like he never has Clark Kent is this nerdy guy that works at gets peed on by Perry White at the
Daily Planet.
Yeah, the Daily Planet. So it's kind of like if you had to choose, you're either going to be a badass superhero or I'm going to be a billionaire. It's kind of like you never have an off moment. So I was always into Batman because there were no superpowers. I've always been kind of like a real guy doing something. Like I loved Daredevil. I loved Hawkeye because he was just there's no superhero powers there. It's just he's just really good at what he does.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of the characters and the heroes that I was always kind of drawn to.
Makes sense. I can definitely appreciate that. We
Thanks.
always like the everyman who steps up and
Yeah,
does a
dude.
great thing. All right, now, without risking any NDAs here, I always ask this, is there anything else that we can expect from you as we head towards the future?
Absolutely. The things three things this year that are coming out that I'm really, really excited about. We have Shadow of Mordor, which is the new Warner Brothers Lord of the Rings saga game. I play Talion, which is it's really cool because we're visiting again something you guys are going to be very familiar with. People who are Tolkien fans and really scholars of the lore are really going to appreciate this because it happens between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, and so we get to visit Mordor in a time where not a lot is known about, and there was so much that went into the understanding of the lore. Everything that we did was approved by the Tolkien estate or had to go through Peter Jackson approval. So this is stuff that's been vetted. There's also Far Cry 4, which I get to play Pagan Men. That's coming out November 18th. And then Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is it's a new era for Call of Duty. Whether you're a fan or not, this is one you're definitely going to want to pick up. I got to work alongside Kevin Spacey, which was really, really cool. So yeah, those are three titles that are coming out this year, and then Arkham Knight will be out next year, and maybe some others. We'll see.
Definitely. Yeah, I know there's been a lot of hype for a lot of those games, so
Yeah,
it must be really cool to be a big part of that.
I'm very happy to be part of it.
All right, well, Troy, thank you so much
Thank
for
you, John.
joining us here today.
Thanks, Shades.
Yeah, and you guys stay tuned for more in here at Metrocon 2014. Like he said, I'm the Shades, and we'll see you guys next time. Rock on!